All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, we're the brothers here out of Great Millstone, Atlanta. All right, first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushai,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Rakakwadash.
Rakakwadash.
All right, hey, we're just coming at you. I'm sorry, double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the icons that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, and this is a quick lesson, and we're just gonna be building off the topic. You in this world, you will never be financially content, and this is based off of actually a tweet that a brother had shared earlier, and the brother Karaj is out right here. He shared a chick from Twitter, and she basically tweeted, "I have a bachelor's from Yale and a medical degree from Harvard, and I still live paycheck to paycheck." And these are two very prominent schools in America. All right, they're considered Ivy League schools. All right, which everyone knows when the common pattern of or the common result of going to these schools is you end up in a very high end career. Like a Fortune 500 company, or what I'm saying, you wind up a millionaire through your various connections or whatever. So this chick went to two top schools that you can go to, Yale and Harvard, and she's still living paycheck to paycheck. All right, so number one, that shows you that, you can never get ahead in this society. We were building before we started this lesson, and it's either two things in this wicked kingdom of Esau's. You're either caught up or you're playing catch up financially, but you can never really get ahead unless you sold out. Unless you sold out. But anytime you play by the system, anytime you try to go through the common path, which is going to college, you would think, because they told you when you were growing up, you go to school, get good grades, you get a good grade on the SAT, then you go to college, go to a good college, and then once you go to a good college, you're gonna get a good career. You're gonna get a house, you're gonna get a wife and children, and you're gonna get a high-paying career.
Yeah, the American dream.
But the American dream is a myth, and that's the point of this lesson. The American dream is just a big myth, all right? And a lot of you people, this system has failed you, you know what I'm saying? And you will never be able to succeed in Esau's kingdom because it was never designed for you to succeed. So we can go ahead and get into it.
I'll start off in Haggai chapter 1 and verse 6. And it says,
That's the one right there.
It says, ye have sown much and bring in little.
Yeah, that sowing is indicative of work. You put in a lot of work, like the brother speaking of, prior to you actually hitting the labor market, you set yourself up working in these different schools, man. Education, you taking your SATs, you taking your final exams, which is basically academics and criteria that you take to indicate that you have the, what's the word I want to find? The acumen to actually conduct on a higher scale to actually get paid higher wages, man.
Yeah.
That's why you go to these different colleges and universities, and you might have a bachelor's or a master's. A lot of those, certain degrees take 7, 6 years, 5 years. That's a lot of, that's a lot of labor, man. That's
a lot of money.
A lot of money that's involved. Every year you got to pay for those textbooks. You have to pay for the curriculum, the tuition, And like you just said, these high up Ivy League schools and these different universities that you flying damn near, you might be in California. Man, most of these Ivy League schools is on the East Coast any damn way, man. Really, I'm not thinking all of them are on the East Coast.
I believe all of them are.
All of them on the Northeast region, man. Connecticut is where Yale is. I think Pennsylvania, all these Ivy League schools, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, I forget the other one.
Princeton.
It's a few more. But, I don't want to say Stanford.
Stanford is one, I believe.
But the point is, all these different universities that's on the eastern coast of the world, when these people hit those different universities, they're grinding day and night, man.
Yeah.
They're not taking breaks. They ain't just partying and bullshit. Don't get me wrong, they have the little frolicking moments, but for the most part, they're in those books, man.
Mm-hmm.
But you got it.
Con. And it says,
Now we know, of course, the scriptures is technically talking about the type of labor that you actually physically put in, you know, because in today's time, what we make on whether it's factories or these different industries, whatever type of market that you're involved in, it doesn't equal out to your payout, man.
it doesn't.
Mm-mm.
You know, you busting your ass, you lack medical, you know, you don't have actual medical access, so to speak. Now, of course, we don't fuck with Esau's bullshit any damn way, but the reality of it is, Esau don't even pay you enough that you can really even purchase the proper herbs to take care of your damn self, man.
You're on your feet all day.
You're on your feet all day.
You know, yeah, like you said, you know, it takes a toll on your health. You
Takes-
know, your joints and all that stuff. Like, you know, that stuff really can damage your body. And like you said, it doesn't. They don't even give you enough sufficient care to even take care of yourself on the jobs that you're working. So these jobs don't give a shit about you.
Yeah, and then you might get paid $40,000, which is, you know, $10,000 every 3 months.
Quarter.
Yeah, every quarter,
Mm-hmm.
which is really a little to nothing, man. Because out of that, you're getting heavily taxed every month any damn way, you know. And if you look at your taxes, of course, it's federal, state. You know, you got to pay for individuals' disability. You know, that's where a portion of your taxes actually go towards. You know, disabled and you know, various other things, you know, that really is outside of your personal means to even take care of and be sustained in your everyday life.
Yeah.
You know, that's why the scriptures tells you in Proverbs the 11th chapter that a false balance is abomination in itself. Esau's system was designed to be unjustly balanced. That's why it says you sow in much, but you bring in little.
Bring a little.
These paychecks that we bring in, man, you should be looking at each and every check you get sideways, man.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people want to push this image, and see, that's that real Stockholm slave syndrome, where you'll get paid, and you might get a $400 check, but you just happy that you got paid, man. You should
Right.
be pissed the hell off, man.
Right.
Right.
You got it.
You got it.
Time. Continuing. It says, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe, but there is none warm. And
Yeah,
he
so-
that
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, but I mean that's the point of the lesson is you'll never be content or comfortable. You know you'll never have enough. You won't be warm. So
Yeah.
this is likened unto basically whatever you do is not gonna give you fulfillment.
And if I could add to the captain's point, this all goes, especially for you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Yeah.
It goes back to the curses. You know, because the scriptures, in the curses, it says, you should go to the enemy for the want of all things.
Yeah.
You know? So this is really no way, you know, even these high celebrities still be in debt, still owe, still have bills that's haunting them, and I got just weight the whole weight on your shoulders turn, man. It's a continual thing into the kingdom.
Yeah.
You know?
And see, Esau makes us buy into these depreciating assets. On another thing too, you know, you'll purchase a car to get back. You know, main reason why you purchase these cars is to get back and forth to work. You know, the commute is becoming longer and longer because traffic is more rigorous. You got to wake up earlier, so that means you got to spend more time to get to these different jobs. And then these jobs don't even pay you much of a fucking thing, man. These jobs don't even support the actual economic market. I said that to my dad earlier today. The labor market isn't even compatible to the economic market, man.
It's behind.
Lopsided.
It's lopsided.
It's behind. Yeah, because and how you know that is because, like we said, the salaries and wages that people make is not. It doesn't add up with the cost of living. The cost of living is way too high. We was just talking about that too. The cost of living.
The Jake was saying on the video about the whole minimum wage thing. from back the minimum wage from 2009 and now is the exact same. And here it is, the rent, that went up. He's telling me I gotta pay $1,500 a month for a house or apartment that was built in the '70s, man. It's a lot. That's why the scripture say the things are turned upside down. And Esau is so wicked. If I could say before I get back, Esau is so wicked that it's not even just Jake that's going through. He got his own people going through.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it says,
It's a devil.
but there is none warm, and he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes.
Yeah, and that's the point. Is that your money is always, and this is the most disrespectful thing about Esau's kingdom is when you get paid. Everyone knows this feeling. When you get paid and all of your money goes to bills.
Yes.
Yeah.
That shit hurts. That's probably the most hurtful thing. That shit hurts your pride because it's like you literally get your whole paycheck. You have a whole entire paycheck and you got to spend it all on bills.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell? Like, you don't get no time you don't have any room for, enjoyment. You don't have any room, like entertainment, things that you might want to do for yourself, things that you want to, do. You don't have no room for that because all your money is going into your rent and fucking electricity.
Yeah.
And that shit don't ate up your whole paycheck. But that's what we said is that the cost of living is too high with the wages that they're with the income, right? Income rates. I got something.
And if I was gonna say, and it's not like we're speaking about our griefs, like we're gonna be in front of the White House, we're trying to protest to the mayors, to actually give affordable living. We know the reality of the society. This is not our rest. And Esau has created a system to be basically a illusion for a season to put you back into that new revised slavery any fucking way, man. He gave Jake that spread of leniency to believe that they're gonna that they have the ability to spend how they want, live how they want. You get on these different websites and you watch certain things. And Jacob put a reality out there like they just living their best life.
Yeah, keeping up. Well, it's a saying, keeping up with the Joneses.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
You know what I'm saying? And like you said, social media has made it to where, it's visual. You want more and more and more. I got this Exodus 1:14. It says, matter of fact, I start 13. It says, "And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field."
Well, what the scripture said, there's nothing new under the sun. When we was in the land of Egypt, scripture says that we built treasured cities, Pithom and Ramses. But did it say that we lived in those treasured cities? No. It said that we lived in the hood, basically. Yeah. We lived in the land of Goshen.
Yeah.
Which was basically one of the, more impoverished areas, low income. The slums. When you look at Jake built all these different illustrious buildings all throughout the Americas. There's some badass houses in America, man.
Yeah.
I've been around.
Yeah.
Well, when Jake built these nice ass houses, they're commuting from their impoverished areas to a nice area, and then at the end of the day, they got to go back to they done built up, like you said, they done built up these nice ass areas. And then at the end of the day, they got to pack it up and go right back to their hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is depressing.
And it says in all manner of service, all wherein they made them to serve was with rigor. And look at today, so we're likening Egypt unto the times today because America's spiritually Egypt. Now look at the conditions of Israel. Think about this. When's the last time you saw an Edomite cook or an Edomite janitor or these lower end jobs, service
Edomites working like fucking Issachar.
Right.
Yeah. When have you seen an Edomite construction worker?
Yeah.
Or
It
if
ain't
you
a
do,
lot.
It's rare.
It's not a lot of
if you do, they the ones who basically
They the
run
manager.
It. Yeah, the
them.
man.
Managers.
You know, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but think about all these lower end jobs. Esau ain't doing these jobs.
He's ain't doing that.
So slavery still exists today. That's why it says they made their lives bitter with hard bondage. This is still hard bondage. Look at all these all these low end what do you call those work basically labor
Blue collar.
Yeah, blue collar.
blue collar hard labor jobs.
Yeah, because even I used to work in the at a job. I ain't got to disclose the exact job. It's just a slave job nonetheless. It ain't nothing that's fancy, but it was predominantly Issachar. It wasn't one white person in that job.
Ever.
Cause a white so-called Edomite is not finna work in a low job. One, and two, they ain't finna work under no fucking, according to them, a fucking Mexican, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So Esau knows where to put that. Esau knows where the money at. And Esau will work jobs where they get paid handsomely. One thing about devils, they know their worth. You know, they know. Oh, that's nigga pay.
Yeah.
You pay a nigga, a nigga that's working 11 hours. You give a nigga $100 bill after working 11, 12 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not worth that shit. You're gonna have to pay me $50,000 up.
Yeah.
You know, to even have my face on a project. You see? So Esau knows their worth, and they'll put themselves at the top of the markets, like we just said, white collar jobs, which white collar is predominantly Edomites.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see these different executives and these different presidents, and the main people that's in them office buildings that you be thinking like, damn, this nigga ain't doing half the labor I'm doing, but he fucking making triple, quadruple the amount of money I'm making. And he ain't been on the job half the time is a lot of these old heads, man. You see? That's why the scripture says that how they made our lives bitter. Because when Jake, you know, be on these different jobs, they're the ones that's most heavily oppressed, and Jake don't get no type of appreciation for half the work that they do.
Yeah.
That's it.
And they don't make these companies millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And they don't have half the amount of money, and they will never, Esau will always tell them what they're doing wrong so that they can negate. Esau's job is to be negative. The word negative, the root word of that is to negate. I want to negate the fact that you did good. So I'm going to tell you what you did wrong, because that just takes away from anything you did good. Yeah, you did this, but that's negative. So I'm negating that you did anything positive. And
Right.
that negating is enough to we're going to have to push your raise back in the next 2-3 years. We're going to have to deliberate because you know, and everybody knows how these jobs and things are designed. They're designed for you to fuck up.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to fuck up on the job.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's just a youthful or human mistake. They make you seem like you're inhumane, like you're less than a man. And that's how the manipulative tactics that Esau does, because Esau really is a master pimp. If you work these jobs, these supervisors, these bosses, wherever you work, they're gonna try to pimp you out really who you are. Put you in a certain sunken place, man.
Well, really, they already got you in slavery by working for your time. Everybody who's rich and wealthy, they know that's the biggest no-no, is to work for your time. You'll never become rich working for your time. You got to make your money work for you. Like, you know, the wealthy, they'll tell you you're supposed to, you know,
Generate
put your money
when you
into
sleep.
yeah, generate revenue, but you gotta it's a word for it. It's called passive income. You make money in your sleep. You know what I'm saying? You make money make your money make money. You know what I'm saying? Put your money to work. That's how you really generate wealth. But working for your time, that's just gonna make you a perpetual slave. You got it, correct? You got something?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 8. And it says, Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
Yeah, and this money that we use, it doesn't have any type of buying or purchasing power, man. No true purchasing power, because it can't bring us out of this captivity. You know, you see these different celebrities with these big ass money phones and stuff like that. They're subject to payments, man.
Yep.
They got the IRS on their asses. You remember a few years back, you know, it's been a span of years, but Lil Wayne got the IRS seized. You know, a lot of these different Jakes be having something known as is it civil forfeiture?
Yeah.
You know,
They gotta
What-
pretend like they broke.
they got to pretend like they broke so the IRS doesn't retrieve their assets. You know, so they're subject, which the word subject, Apostle Bar always goes under. We're under the rule, man. We're being ruled over what we have to pay off.
Yeah.
And majority of stuff we got to pay off from what we make, it don't add up.
Yeah.
Your mortgage, it really's not gonna add up. That's why the scripture says it's like a bag of holes, because a hole is a pit. It feel like you just throwing your money in a pit trying to fill it up.
Right.
Trying to fill it up. Trying to fill it up. You know how much money it takes really to pay off a house?
Yeah.
That's why I know
they
the
don't-
mortgage.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And see,
definitely.
they don't really tell you the loopholes and the tricks that they play
Yeah.
to avoid taxes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they know the tricks of the trade. They know how to avoid taxes, avoid paying taxes, and you know what I'm saying, have everything be a write off.
Juggle debt.
That's that,
Juggle debt.
Daniel 8:25
Yeah.
through his policies, man.
Handle write offs and all
Yeah.
that stuff. They know how to do those things. Why? Because first of all, financial literacy. They were taught. See, one thing about Esau, another thing about Esau is they know how to look out for each other. So they know how to they basically will teach. They'll teach each other the tricks of the trade, the loopholes, but then they don't teach you niggas. So they have financial literacy.
Yeah.
They know how to avoid paying these taxes and all these different little tricks that they do.
They got good credit by the time they even get out of high school.
Oh yeah.
You know, Jake don't even know about credit and today in their late 20s, mid 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And also Esau, that's that 400-year gap that Esau had, that advantage.
That's it.
with, man.
And also, the scripture said that he was more subtle.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Because the word, scripture says to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. The serpent's main ability is knowing how to maneuver. Esau knows how to snake in the system.
Yeah.
Esau has don't get it wrong. Esau has student loan debt. Esau be sick as hell. Esau be really in fucked up perdition. Esau be in just as much straits sometimes as Jake. But their difference is they have the snaky ability to know how to maneuver, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
They know how to prolong their lives to the point where it's like, goddamn, like a devil might have a heart condition, and Jake might have a heart condition. Jake might die in his 30s. Esau might die in his fucking late 80s.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah.
And they might make the same amount of money per year.
Yeah.
You see, why is that? Because this devil knows how to snake his way into the system. He knows how to balance his debts. He knows how to maneuver around debt collectors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how to what they call freezing certain debts and things of that
Yeah.
nature.
Freezing
Yeah.
assets.
Freezing
Freezing
their
assets.
assets.
File
Filing
for
their
bankrupt.
necessary chapters.
Yeah.
You got chapter 7, chapter 11. You know, and I'm just speaking about basic stuff.
That's
It's
financial literacy.
that's financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Esau knows how to go through companies, get repossessions, and restart companies, and still have their credit growing. Jacob make one slip, make one little fuck up in the system, that shit gonna carry. That
Oh,
shit
it's
is
gonna
gonna
have a stain,
A
permanent
stain.
stain.
it's gonna put a permanent stain on your
Permanent
reputation
stain.
for your whole life.
I know a lot of Jake who tried to venture off from the whole 9 to 5 thing and start their own thing up, but eventually had to go back just from them, you know, that one slip up like the brother was speaking of. They had to just go back to work,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, it's very rare for not only just a Jake business, but just any mom and pop business. It's very rare for that to stay open more than 10 years.
5 years.
5 years. That is very rare for anything to stay open that long.
Yeah.
I got something though.
And it's a hidden thing, a hidden agenda that Esau puts out where it'll be a white woman at a mom and pop, because so-called whites be having mom and pop, especially here in Georgia and things of that nature, southern restaurants and stuff like that. They get grants and they'll make sure, look, we're gonna make sure that your business stays afloat. We're pushing for your business. When it comes to so-called Negroes, they want your business to tank.
So they can get you out of there.
So they can get you out of there. So we know that this captivity is deliberately designed for us not to advance. That's why we label these things as such. This money is designed for us not to advance. The white man's, so-called white man's face is printed all over the goddamn
All
shit.
over this shit.
These banks, it's certain individuals that try to get requests for these different houses. Even in Atlanta, I heard Tyler Perry try to get one of these high-end houses, and he had to jump through hoops and hurdles. And look at his face. So how much more is common Negro?
Yeah.
Your credit, you having a 650 credit is not the same as an Edomite having a 650. And it's not even really a high credit score, but a 700, 750. A so-called black man 750, 800s. You know, what's the highest? 800, right? 850, some shit like that. But the so-called black man's 800, 850 credit score, whatever, it's not the same as the so-called Edomite.
Right.
That's the point that I'm trying to really drill home and drive home.
Yeah. This is Micah 2:10.
That's it.
Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you,
Yeah.
even with a sword destruction.
Yeah.
And it's going to destroy you because, like the saying goes, get rich or die trying.
Yeah.
When you try to get rich, especially as an Israelite, if you're trying to get rich and get ahead in the society, you're always going to fall short.
Always.
You're going to go one step forward and you're going to go 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Because like the brother said, it's designed for Esau to succeed. It's his game.
Yeah.
How the fuck can you how can you beat a motherfucker when it's his game? Because as soon as you get ahead, he's gonna change the rules.
He's gonna change it up. If I could say, that's why, a lot of, how the so-called younger generation, they're doing like the whole scamming thing and trying to get ahead. But at the same time, when they turn around, when they hit late, early 40s, they gonna look back and see all they did was chase money this whole time, and they have nothing. They have nothing to show for it.
Well, you get felonies behind that shit.
You get felonies. It only like you said, it only leads you. That's really a dead end. That's a dead end thing because you can't do nothing with it. You gotta fraud your way through your whole life. The rest of your life, you gotta fraud. You just gotta keep frauding because your name is burnt out.
Yeah, you can't open up. You can't open any bank accounts. Your credit is shit. So now you trying.
Nobody trusts you.
Nobody trusts you. You can't get a loan. So now you're trying to establish yourself in so-called America, which Lord willing, this place don't go that much longer. But you're trying to establish yourself here, and you don't have nothing to lean on because all you did was chase that bag with holes in it, man.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. I'll say this in the spirit, even amongst brothers. Can't be fucking chasing that money, man.
Yeah.
Fuck this money. A lot of
Yeah.
because a lot of brothers, a lot of sincere brothers, they chase this money, man. Fuck this money, man.
Yeah, fuck it.
It's a demon, man.
Yeah, it's a demon. It's a demon that can never be caught. And I'm gonna bring this out in Proverbs shortly, because the scriptures speak about money maketh itself wings. But I want to bring out this these couple points. You could get that about, I think, like 26, 25.
Yeah, I get it.
But it says, I seen this on Epic Economist earlier this week. But I want to bring out a couple of statistics to show, to drill home the lesson. But it says, U.S. private sector shed 301,000 jobs in January, says APD survey. So these jobs are just constantly being lost. And what's crazy too, Esau knows these jobs that actually pay good, they outsource them.
Yeah.
They'll put them in China. They don't want to pay a nigga $60,000 a year. They don't want to pay a so-called Mexican $60,000 a year. So really a lot of these jobs is being gobbled up overseas through whether it's low slave labor or the prison market. Because it's a lot of prisoners that's actually working these different jobs that they, could be actually making good, but they're making fucking 12 cents an hour. And then you if it's not that, then it's Issachar.
Well, that's another way that they avoid taxes too. That's another way they avoid paying, those fees, of the production fees and different things of that nature. Sometimes, and in those cases they be like, well, shit, I could go over here and produce it cheaper.
Yeah, it might cost you couple $100,000 to shut down your company and resurge it, overseas, but at the end of the day, the type of the slave labor is little to none, and they understand the buying power of the dollar and the conversion rate of actually converting that United States currency towards whatever is pesos or whatever. The United States Federal Reserve is the dominant currency on the planet Earth. So they know that they ain't got to pay much of nothing to these different. And see, that's how you know Esau's the devil, because they want slave labor out of people. And they don't want it where it's like, all right, I'm going to keep my business here because I want to make something out of the people here. You know, they don't think in that regard. They think about themselves. These devils, if they worth 12, 13, 14 million, you know, or 100 million, they're not like, shit, I'm cool at 100 million. They're like, nah, I want to turn this 100 million to 500.
That's where you get oppression from. You know, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. You know, greed.
Greed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read a little bit more and I'm going to throw it to the bro. It says, U.S. manufacturing jobs rapidly declined since the 2000s. And that's the main thing Jake worked, manufacturing. These manufacturing plants in these different facilities. And see, they're declining. That's why you'll work these jobs. They want to put more hours on you. And they want to keep tweaking the schedule. But they really don't want to pay you. So next thing you know, you just work. It really get to the point where a lot of these jobs, your pay rate really capped after the first 7 hours. After that, you know what I'm saying? You know, you damn near working for free.
Yeah, because that money, that overtime money is taxed.
That overtime money is heavily taxed. And really, what you work for in majority of those 6-7 hours is really more than enough. So this devil don't have no type of sympathy for you. So I'm going to read a little bit more. It says U.S. manufacturing jobs on the decline since the 60s. They show the polls. Every day in the United States, we are losing 15 factories.
Every day?
That's what it says. Every day in the United States, we are losing 15 factories. It says, who killed U.S. manufacturing? The U.S. once dominated the manufacturing world, and the blame for its decline falls far and wide. Was it China, Mexico, globalism, robots, Republicans, Democrats? Investment Monitor takes a deep dive.
Yeah, because when you go into, World War II, during that time you had the Industrial Revolution, which that was America in its prime, because the manufacturing was at its peak. You know, they had everybody come to the factories to make these different weapons and to make all these different things. So you smokehouse factories and all those things. But guess what? After that, after things became digital and and then companies, like we saying, started outsourcing, that was the decline of these that became a gradual decline, of American manufacturing. That's why what is American made? You can't even name 5 things that are made in America, to be honest.
Not off the top of your head, you can't.
No, you can't. Look a little bit more. U.S. drops from 1st to 7th in average wealth per adult, behind Singapore, Sweden, and France. 70% of millennials are living paycheck to paycheck, report says. 48% of Americans making over $100,000 live paycheck to paycheck. And another one, 41% of Americans worry they lack emergency savings. Here's how to know if you're all set. That's really the main point. And that just sounds like a amalgamation of a crisis amongst the people, man.
Yeah.
From making little to nothing all the way up to so-called middle class, high middle class at that.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Well, the middle class is disintegrating. But that's the whole point of. That's really the point of this lesson, because the chick from Harvard and Yale, that can easily get you a middle class. At the least, that will get you a middle class position somewhere.
Yeah.
In society, but
high middle class
position in society. Now, let that have been an Edomite. Now, it was a black woman that posted it, right?
Yeah. It was a
now, like you said, the wealth, the racial inequality in America, let that have been an Edomite, they could have had the same exact,
Criteria.
same criteria, but same life story, same steps that they took, and a so-called white person will succeed.
Oh well, you remember the video when they did that race? They had the Esau and Jake and everybody started at the same point, and they said take 2 steps forward if you know your family started with money. You know, it just shows you the gap between Esau and Jake, man.
Black and white.
You know, the black and white.
Black and white.
You know.
You still got that problem?
I can. I'm still looking for it.
I got something. Real
And see,
quick.
that's why it's so hard, and what makes it harder is this world has made it obsolete for you to look at your past conditions. Oh, we all in America. Everybody has equal opportunity. Don't blame your conditions for the position that you're in. That's all bullshit, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, whether we all came from bad backgrounds and shit like that. That's all bullshit.
That's
man.
the lie they tell you to keep you working. That's just the lies that you can achieve your dream. It's always a rich person in a nice suit telling you you can get where I'm at.
Yeah.
If you grind hard, you can achieve. But they do that so that you can keep working. They know them motherfuckers in them suits. They know you ain't never gonna fucking make it today.
They know it's probably the ratio one in the fucking 1 out of every 100,000 people
I got something else.
hit that certain margin, man. It's not designed for everybody to hit that margin, man.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so in a illusion in them damn self, because the scriptures speak about how to the most another one. Yeah, scripture said the Lord will send strong delusions on people. You know, these people be so delusional. They believe that since they actually reached a position of so-called success, that it's available
It's
for
achievable
everybody.
for everyone.
It's not available. If you're a supervisor, you can't say everybody could be a super. It's not available for everybody. And then when you put in a supervisor position, somebody in most cases puts you in there, man.
Yeah.
Right.
But you got it. We're gonna get a few.
Yeah,
more.
this is I just stumbled across this. This Proverbs 20:17. Bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. Yeah, and you know, this is going into Esau because it says bread of deceit is sweet to a man.
Yeah.
And that's how, like, when you read Sirach 10, it says
Riches
it goes
gotten
into
by
riches
deceit.
gotten by deceit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how Esau obtains his riches, is by deceit. Everything that he's gotten is from ill-gotten gain, whether it be through lies, robbery,
Death, killing.
death, you know, so different things, man. And Esau, it says, bread of deceit is sweet to a man. So like we was even talking about scamming. That's bread of deceit. So it's sweet because it's like, damn, I got this.
Yeah.
But it says, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. So you'll see, you know, the result of it is like, you know what I'm saying, you got a mouth filled with gravel. You basically jacked up.
And it add up to nothing, man.
It add up to nothing.
You know, because at a certain time, you might have benefited from it, but in latter times, like you just said, the backlash that comes with this life doesn't grant you benefits for longevity. It's a short term grind. It really just is a short term. You know, it's a short term surge that Jake benefits from.
Yeah.
You know, Jake might get a little, you know, get ahead for a season, but what? In most cases, Jake in their latter years, they start to retract. Their finances start to retract. Hell, if you know about a lot of middle class people, when they start to get in their 60s and 70s and 80s, they get sicker over time, and really all the money that they generated in their retirement, they have to pay for it for medical goddamn fees, man. You know. So now they got to pay for medical fees. They got to pay for a mortgage. They got to pay for most cases they'll have a truck or you know what I'm saying, a nice Benz or something like that. They're paying $70,000-$80,000 for. So they ain't nothing but damn near poor, piss poor. So what are they making $80,000-$90,000 a year? When 60, 70, 75 is going towards bills, and they only get to retain 5,000 to juggle with in their bank account. What the fuck is $5,000 in your bank account
Right.
when a crisis comes? You don't even have enough money to take care of immediate people or situations around you, man. So this is the reality of the society that we live in, and we got to paint the picture. See, because when we stroke, you know, like it's artistry. When we stroke and paint the picture, we don't paint the picture that's inviting to this world. We paint the most gross. When we talking about America, we smudge it, man.
Yeah.
We make it to the point where you look at it like, God damn.
Right.
Because this is the reality that we living in, man.
Yeah.
Most people want to put this notion out there that America is just dandelions and rose petals
you
that
can prosper here.
and you can just prosper.
Yeah.
You know, you just levitating, that walking on sunshine. Nah, this is a society of you're gonna constantly have a dark cloud riding your ass.
Right. Name one person, you know, off the top of your head who you know who got their own place. First of all, majority of the people got to have a roommate to even be able to afford, you know, rent, man. You know, there's very few people out here who handling business on their own, man.
Very few.
You know, and because this place was set up, it's a pit, man. You know, for us to fall.
That's right. I got something. Yeah, you go ahead with that.
Quick one. It's Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 8, which I bought this out at camp not too long ago. But it says, "He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor." And that's exactly what Esau does, man. He uses usury, you know, and unjust gain to get an advantage, you know, on the people, man. You know, mainly the Israelites, the poor. You know, so that shows you that, you know, we're being oppressed here. You know, we're being heavily oppressed, and it shows you, like the brothers are saying, that slavery still does exist, even though we're not still getting physically whipped on our back, you know, with whips and, you know, yoke around the neck, and hey, it's more of a financial and mental slavery, man.
Oh man, look at the slavery that you got to go through to even get to a job to slave, man.
Right.
You be stuck in traffic, honking your horn, and you got to swerve, and you damn near about to get hit by the person behind you.
Just to show up 5 minutes late, and the boss tell you, hey, next time you better hurry up.
Just to be looked at crazy. You get to the job, you sweating, and you thinking of a good ass excuse, and you be like, oh, damn, I don't want to use the traffic excuse, because the traffic excuse just seemed like a casual, you know, like an excuse everybody uses. When it's the reality, man. Traffic is a demon in itself.
Yeah.
And what everybody's all in that same mentality in traffic. They all rushing to get to the job. That's why in Atlanta, I know it's in a lot of cities, but in Atlanta, it's car accidents all over the fucking place every day.
It's on your head, so.
Well, this whole system, like you said, when you deal with traffic, it's a rat race. It's just a fucking rat race.
Man.
Everybody's in a hurry. Everybody's trying to beat traffic. Everybody's trying to rush to get to. But that's the whole commute. It's a commute. You got your morning commute. Everyone's trying to get somewhere. Everyone's in a rush here and everyone's in a rush there to get this paper.
Off.
Yeah, I got something.
Willing to sacrifice their car just to get to a job to make $100.
Sacrifice their life. Yeah.
Sacrifice their life.
It's Proverbs 28 and 22. He that hateth to be rich hath an evil eye, and considereth not the poverty. Considereth not that poverty shall come upon him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read that again.
Oh, well, we just brought that example out too. You
just
try to
said
drive to make money and you end up crashing your whole car.
Yep.
And most Jakes don't be having full coverage, you know, and they be in the wrong. And now they out there in the loss for the car. Now they got to catch a bus to get to the same job, and they back to square one. So now they're hustling again to make ends meet to save up to buy a car, or they got to pay for Uber. Now they're losing. If you're making $100, say for instance you're making $100 after taxes, you're gonna pay for food. You're gonna be in a rush. You're gonna more than likely eat out or something like that. So $20 in that day, you're gonna eat breakfast and, you know what I'm saying, evening, or you might eat lunch and evening. You know what I'm saying, however you eat. But $20 out of that, and then you might make $70, $80 a day. What the fuck is that? What the hell is $80 a day? You can't live off that. That's
Okay.
that's not a functioning lifestyle, man. Because most people making $500-600 a week. The average person is really making. Most people really making less than that.
Yeah, about 300-400.
300-400. What the fuck is $300 a week? But if you're making $500-600 a week, you eating out. You eating $20 of that damn near a day. Because most people do not know how to cook or is in the kitchen cooking daily.
Mm-mm.
You know, you might have a wife to do your thing, or or if you're a woman, But for the most part, most people eating out.
Yeah, good. Well, you don't have no time because
You
by
don't
the
have no
time you
time,
get off
man.
the clock, you're too tired to cook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna resort to something quick and convenience. That's what this society is built off, convenience. But it says Proverbs 28:22. I'll read it again. He that hasteth to be rich hath an evil eye, and considereth not that poverty shall come upon him. Yeah, because like I said, that saying, get rich or die trying. When you're hasting to be rich, when you're hasty to be rich, you destroy yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going to destroy yourself. And then, like, ask any any person on their deathbed, older person, they've been living for 80 years. Ask them, would they rather be young? Would they rather go back to being young and healthy? Or would they rather have, $1 billion?
Young.
They're going to want to be youthful. So what does that show you? That means that life, your
More
youth,
important.
living is more important than money. What the fuck is a billionaire? What the fuck is this person is on their deathbed. What the fuck is $1 billion going? What is that gonna do?
Scripture says health and the good state of body is above all riches.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sirach tells us the things that we're supposed to be content with, which
That's
is water, honey.
Yeah, the chief things.
Yeah, the chief things of life. Man.
Yeah.
So we have to learn, to be content here, with what the Lord provides for us, man.
Yeah, because all the extra stuff, that's all it is just extra.
Yeah.
And most things that's extra don't really last too long. Because it's hard to maintain. This world is not designed for you to really maintain and wear 7-8 different hats.
Mm-hmm.
But you get some more on that.
That was it.
I got something.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can close
with
it.
that.
Probably,
Yeah.
we can close it.
Yeah, this is Proverbs 23 verse 3. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Like you went into the deceptiveness.
Yeah.
Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom.
Yeah.
Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle towards heaven.
Yeah, just like the scriptures say, lay up not your treasures on earth where moth doeth corrupt, moth and dust doeth corrupt. Because everything on earth, like they say, you came with nothing into this world, you leave with nothing. So, what do you have? Your possessions don't make you rich. You know what I'm saying? It was a point that can you read that last part again?
Yeah. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle towards heaven.
Fly out the way. Everything is not like King Solomon said. Everything is vanity and vexation of spirit. Everything is not. Everything is worthless. When you think about it, everything on here is worthless because it corrupts. Everything can be taken away.
Yeah.
Nothing is permanent. This money, like I said, this money. Ask a rich person. When a rich person doesn't have any more money, then what? He has nothing.
You don't even have a name.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we said, this is not our rest, man. Because you could do, you go hard trying to work as many hours as you can and, to try to come above water. But this place, like we just said, this is a sinking ship. This is the Titanic. So our best option is to stay in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai and don't let the elements of this world pull us away.
That's right.
Which is including trying to chase this fucking money, man.
Yep.
You're trying to chase something that doesn't exist. It tells you that, because really this money doesn't exist. It's a credit system, and the word exists goes into the word breath. It doesn't have life in it.
It's fiat.
Fiat currency. The Most High's true treasures, when you go back into Genesis, it says Abraham was rich in gold, silver, and cattle.
Yeah, that's true riches.
Those
true
are true
wealth.
riches. Gold was something that was manufactured divinely from the Most High. The Most High created gold. The Most High didn't create this the fucking Federal Reserve notes, man. That's art that was created by man. With the printing press. Now we know all things are created by the Most High.
And they took the gold.
Ultimately,
They tricked you into
Yeah.
they tricked you into bringing your gold to them in exchange for these what are they, promissory notes?
white boy paper.
Yeah, white boy paper.
Yeah.
Or they called, but back then they called them basically a promissory. I think it was a promissory note
Yeah.
or whatever you call it. I got one to close up on.
Okay.
Proverbs 27 and 24. For riches are not forever,
That's
and
big.
doeth the crown endure to every generation.
Ooh, read it over.
It says for rich. Proverbs 28 and 24.
Brother put that on the chat too.
That's a bad
27, 24. I'm sorry. For riches are not forever.
one. Yeah, rich is not forever. Look at the richest man in the scriptures, man. How rich are they out today, and how rich is their seed line?
Mm-hmm.
You know, not too rich. Hey, think about Mansa Musa. You don't hear about nobody out of Mansa Musa generation or Kangas Gun or these different Solomon. You know.
Yep.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Proof. Case in point. Yahweh Shah wasn't too rich of a man, and he came out of the seed line of Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
When you read the scripture says no good thing cometh out of Nazareth. Yahweh Shai wasn't filthy rich.
Right.
Yeah.
And he
Dad
wasn't
was a
even
carpenter.
That was a
his
carpenter.
dad was a carpenter. And he wasn't even too many generations down from Solomon. You know, of course that was thousands of years, but nonetheless it wasn't, it wasn't too long, but he didn't retain those riches.
Right.
Those riches been gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shit, really after if I'm not mistaken, after Rehoboam, after the split of the kingdoms and stuff like that, and Esau started to really come in power and take.
Yeah.
So riches
that
don't.
was gone. Yeah.
Yeah, it was gone. Riches don't last too
Yeah.
long. You think about these different celebrities or these different innovators and these creators back in the day that created. Whether we always talk about how the so-called black man created stoplight and created all these different. They generations and they children ain't really making no. They ain't millionaires from that. It was a so-called black man that created the blueprint of the White House. His family ain't rich off of that.
What's that? Uncle Nearest and Jack Daniels.
Oh yeah.
Uncle Nearest, filthy rich off of that, and so-called Northern Kingdom.
Because basically Esau, he's the one in power, so he gonna take credit for everything that we've done anyway.
Everything.
Take full credit.
You know.
Oh yeah.
It says, and doeth the crown endure to every generation. Yeah, so when you look at all these kingdoms, everything has an end. Everything in this world has an expiration date.
Yeah.
Everything has an expiration date. Anything that you look at, it's eventually gonna it's gonna expire. It's either gonna be a gradual decline or it's gonna be an abrupt decline. But the point being, it's going to corrupt. The only thing that's forever is Yashar Allah,
That's right.
Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the kingdom. That's why this kingdom is so heavy, because we actually going to have power forever. Our riches are going to endure. It's not going to corrupt. It's not going to, it's going to endure for generations, and generations on.
It's gonna be connected to our spirit, like gold, silver. Assets is supposed to be connected to nature, connected to the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
When we had gold and silver, when we would trade with these different precious items, we wasn't manipulating it with artificially creating these different things, man.
Yeah.
Cattle, when we would trade and give servants and say for instance it was bartering, we would make sure that those things were pure, man.
Yeah.
You wouldn't give a lamb that was with blemish and things like that. It was pure.
Yeah. And gold was gold. You didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to figure out, what's this value of gold in dollars?
Yeah.
It's gold.
Yeah.
gold.
Gold. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
So yeah, with that, Lord willing, you were edified. We just wanted to chime in on that through the Spirit, and Lord willing, the flock was edified from that lesson. So anyway, we'll end off by giving all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.
Shalom.